Hi guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back to do a bit of transfer news. And as you guys know, who's followed the channel from its inception really, I have done quite a bit of transfer videos, and this time around, this summer, I haven't done too many. I have really been slacking, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping to get back on the horse, hoping to get a bit of momentum, and we'll start here. And there's been a lot of news concerning Manchester United in the last few days, last few weeks really. It's been a pretty active transfer summer so far, and hopefully this is just the beginning. But before we get into all the stuff we're going to talk about, please do hit that like button if you aren't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. Heading close to 890 subscribers, so anything you guys can do to help us get to that total would be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you're watching and you're watching as a video, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on anything that I say, or even any questions you guys may have. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So we may as well get started. We may as well get straight up and running, get started. And we're talking about Raphaël Varane, of course. Obviously, Varane is the main topic of discussion. Someone who United have chased in the past in previous transfer windows, not for a few seasons, but if you guys have been following the club for as long as I have, you'll know that Raphaël Varane is one of loads of players that have strung us along in transfer negotiations just to get a new contract. And this time it feels a little different to me. In my personal opinion, I feel like there's a little bit more truth in the rumours that he could potentially be making the switch from Real Madrid to Manchester United. You know, it's obviously, you know, it's the hope that kills you, but I do still believe that Raphaël Varane is likely to come to Manchester United from what I'm reading. If what I'm reading is true, I think he's got a very, very good probability of joining Manchester United. But who knows? Who knows with transfer rumours these days? But what is being reported is that personal terms are not going to be a problem between the two clubs. In fact, personal terms have pretty well been agreed. The only thing that's in the way is if the two clubs can agree a fee. Now, where have you heard that before? The Jadon Sancho transfer saga, of course, of the 2020-2021, or the season before that actually, transfer summer, where everyone knew that Jadon Sancho wanted to come. It was just the fee wasn't being able to agreed, or was never agreed between the two clubs, and we didn't get our man. Obviously, it looks like we've got our man this time, but in the end of the day, this is so much familiar territory. You know, we know that for Raphaël Varane, if it is true, we know that he'll want to come to the club. We know, you know, that if what's being reported is true, that's what he's going to want to do. But in the end of the day, the fee, if we're not going to be able to agree a fee, then he's not going to come. But I still think that the fee that's been reported, the fee that's been talked about, is well below what I would have expected Real Madrid wanting for him, to be honest. I feel like, you know, Real Madrid would have wanted probably 78 million, especially if you look at what we paid for Harry Maguire. I mean, we paid 80 million for Harry Maguire. I think that on paper, Raphaël Varane is the superior defender. But at the same time, in the same token, I feel that, you know, maybe times have changed a little bit. Maybe Madrid, you know, they kind of need the money, because I don't think they're in the best place financially. But at the same time, obviously you don't want an unhappy player on your hands. So I was surprised when they're only asking for about £50 million, and that's what's being quoted by the journalists who are reporting on this story, which, as I said, for me, would be an absolute bargain for someone like Varane, someone with his experience, the winning mentality, all of that Raphaël Varane has. I just think that £50 million would be an absolute bargain. We need to get this done. We need to get this done. And I believe we can get it done. Apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, the contract on the table would see him stay at Old Trafford until 2026, which is a pretty good deal for me. It's a pretty good deal. I'm happy with that. Obviously, Man United have got a history of signing players to long-term contracts, so I'm not too surprised. But, you know, if Varane stays for that sort of length of time and Maguire plays like he did in the Euros, we could have a very, very strong centre-back partnership for at least the next 2 or 3 seasons, and I really do hope that comes to fruition. So that's all I know about Varane, and as I said at the start, I feel like this is a really, really good deal to get done. I think we need to get it done, and we need to get it done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's what happens, it goes through, and potentially in the coming days, Manchester United will be submitting a bid. That's what Fabrizio Romano said. He said that, you know, Manchester United will be looking to table a bid of around £50 million in the coming days, and and hopefully it gets accepted straight away. Hopefully it does. Welcome, Matthew. Thanks for joining. Appreciate the bluntness of that comment. It's true. I guess it's true. At the end of the day, it does get dark. So you don't need a university education to know that. Rich, thanks for joining as well. He says he wants to leave though on one year on his contract. Yeah, I think that does come into it. It does massively come into it, to be fair. I think, the fact that he's only got 1 year left, probably Real Madrid don't want to let him go for a free next summer. And you can understand why, because let's face it, Raphaël Varane is too good of a talent to let go for free next summer. So I can understand the smaller price than I was thinking, but I mean, £50 million isn't a small price. I think sometimes we get desensitized to these big price tags because we're just so used to it now. I mean, Harry Maguire was £80 million. So we're just so used to these big price tags that, 50 million, everyone brushes that off as a really good bargain. But I believe it is. But at the same time, £50 million is still a substantial amount of money. So I hope we get a deal done. I think it's the right amount of money to pay for him. But at the same time, we can't ignore it. It's still a decent sum of money. Tom, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, Tom. Hope you're doing well. And Owen's joining us, the guy that lost the quiz. If you haven't seen on Rich's channel, we did a quiz. I came out on top just about by 1 point, but it's not about how many points you win. It's just about winning. And, we got over the line. We did it for the Red Devil Weekly family. We did it for the Red Devil Weekly army. So, thank you very much. Everyone supported me on that one. But yeah, we've proven it once and for all that I just pipped him. But I have more knowledge of this wonderful football club than Owen Coyle. But at the end of the day, who's cowing? Who's cowing? But if you want to go check out how that unfolded, make sure you do go over to Rich's channel. It'll be on there somewhere. I think we did a few. Really did enjoy it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the guy. Do you think that maybe we should be looking elsewhere? Do you think there's other targets that would be well worth our while? Make sure you let us know in the live chat and the comment section down below, of course. But I think Varane's pretty well the best option. Varane is someone we've been chasing for quite a while. Someone who I think has been on a lot of people's fantasy transfer wish lists, and I'm so happy that it looks like we're finally getting our man. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. What can go wrong will go wrong sometimes with this club, but hopefully it'll all be fine. Hopefully it'll all be fine. That's absolutely fine, my friend. Absolutely fine. You do what you do. You do what you do. But obviously, Varane is the main transfer story out at the moment. Jadon Sancho, of course, that's still creeping along. Videos came out of Rashford and Sancho. Obviously, both missed the penalty in that Euros final. But they're enjoying themselves. I'm not sure where they are, but they're enjoying themselves. And good on them. Good on them, I say. But it's good to see that, obviously, if you saw the videos of the England camp, they're obviously both great friends. So it's good to see them both enjoying themselves and not being too down after the Euros final. That's what you want. You want them to fully recharge their batteries so they can come back and focus on the league season. So good on them, guys. Say good on them. But that's really the only bit of Jadon Sancho media that's come out, really. Obviously, on Twitter, people playing the bingo game of when Jadon Sancho is going to sign, when's the official announcement coming, the video with Stormzy and Dave or whatever, promoting their new track. A lot of people were, doing that bit of bingo, and realistically, all it showed to me is that no one really knows what's going on. No one really knows. There's maybe one or two people that actually know, but it's just hidden in a sea of people that just don't know what's going on. And they tell you they know. All these in the know accounts, all these people, all these kind of journalists who say that they've got sources. Most people just don't know, don't have a baldy, don't have a clue what is going on at Manchester United. But it's easy to report, it's easy to get clicks. And as I said, I've never proclaimed to know what's going on. I mean, I'm someone who just sits and looks into a computer screen and talks to some people over the internet. I have no idea what is going on at Manchester United. Who knows in the future whether I have close ties, with sources and things like that. But right now, I'm just a guy talking to you guys. I'm just reporting what's been out there. So, there are some people who claim to know more than they actually do, I think. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Rich says, I counted, hopefully didn't make a mistake. You definitely didn't. You definitely didn't, Rich. Don't worry about that. You don't have to go back and check. Owen says, do you reckon Rice should be more important signing than Varane? Well, a lot of people are saying that CDM should be the priority. A lot of people are saying that, we shouldn't. We should be looking to strengthen the areas that we've already strengthened. Or it seems like if we do land Varane at centre back and at right wing with Jadon Sancho. But CDM for me, and I've said it before the end of the season, CDM was definitely the priority we should have been looking at. And I'm sure the club know that. I'm sure that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I mean, I'd like to think they do at least. But I'm sure someone at the club knows that that's a position we need to strengthen. However, there is a possibility he doesn't mind the McFred partnership. And I know a lot of the fan base does absolutely loathe it. They hate at midfield. Especially when you're ending up having to play Pogba on the left-hand side because you can't fit Bruno and Pogba in the midfield together. I mean, it seems counterproductive, to be honest. But in the end of the day, Ollie seems to like that, especially in big games. But there was a report, an interesting report that came out that said we might be going to a 4-3-3 formation. Apparently, all the players coming back from pre-season are being told about this new 4-4-3 more attacking approach by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that we'll be heading into the new season with. But we have seen this from Ole. I think when he first took over, his first 6 months in the job, that's what we saw, the 4-3-3, and we got some great results. We went on a brilliant run of form, but then all of a sudden we stopped playing that formation and we went to a lot more pragmatic formation. And we still ended up doing alright. Obviously, we finished second last season. We haven't done the worst. Yes, we failed to win a trophy, and that is something we need to rectify this season. I think Ollie desperately needs to rectify that, because if he doesn't, I don't see him staying in the job too long, to be honest. But, he did change formation, and a lot of people didn't like it. And I think the 4-3-3 is the way forward. But I felt like maybe he changed that formation when he first came in after the first 6 months, because he felt he didn't have the personnel to carry it out. He didn't have the people, the quality of players needed to carry out that formation. So, I don't know. We'll see. If he does go back to the 4-3-3 and we do see it and we don't see him change it within 6 months of this season, then, hopefully we can go forward with it, because I do think it's our best formation. I think that's when we're at our most dangerous. And it looks like we're bringing in the players to do that. We've got an out-and-out winger in Jadon Sancho coming in. We've obviously got strong centre-backs, which means we don't need two CDMs patrolling and protecting that back line. So I think we're going in the right direction. But a CDM for me, if you can put someone quality next to Pogba and Fernandes, we will have a real chance at that title. I really do believe it. I really, really do believe it. Matthew says, I think Dino is decent, but not better than David De Gea. Yeah, obviously that's going to stoke some fires, I'm sure, in the comment section. But yeah, I mean, obviously there is a transfer debate really to be had with the goalkeeper situation at the club. Obviously, if you look at the squad for the friendly against Derby, it's obviously kicking off tomorrow. Obviously, De Gea's not there and Dean Henderson aren't there. Obviously, they're both on holiday right now. But, there's a lot of goalkeepers. There's a lot of goalkeepers still at this football club. And with Tom Heaton coming in, it's that dilemma of, do we go into the season with 4 goalkeepers? Or does one of them leave? Does one of them vacate? And I think we'll have to wait and see on that one. I think time will tell. But if I'm looking at it right now, I genuinely think David De Gea's got more chance of leaving than Dean Henderson. And I think that's because, A, the fact that we brought in Dean Henderson at the start of last season, so it'd be a bit weird to see Dean Henderson go out, unless it was a loan deal, to be fair. Unless it was a loan deal. But B, I feel like De Gea has always kind of wanted a move to Spain. Obviously, the fax machine stopped him from moving to Real Madrid, getting his dream move back in 2012, 2013. Actually, no, probably like, I can't remember exactly when it was. But back in the day, the fax machine stopped him from going to Madrid. But at the same time, I feel like eventually he will leave Manchester United and he will go back to Spain. Now, whether that's this summer or next summer, who knows? But I think Dean Henderson is the natural progression. He is a natural progression. Yang Talking Smack, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to check out Yang Talking Smack. Great stuff over there. He says Zakaria or Camavinga over Rice. So Connor not really rating Declan Rice, but the Camavinga obviously is quite young. I don't think he would be our starting CDM, to be honest with you. Maybe some of you disagree with that. Maybe I haven't watched enough of Camavinga to judge that. But to me, I just think he's too young. I don't see him being thrusted into the starting 11. But he's a quality player. He is a real talent. And I would not mind at all if we got him signed up to Manchester United. I mean, someone of that quality, someone who has that sort of ability at that young age, You want him at your club, simple as that. But at the same time, Camavinga, I feel like it's a little bit young to be in a starting 11 for Manchester United at CDM and kind of have all that responsibility, really, because it's a lot of responsibility. So I think in some ways he's a bit young, but at the same time, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And Zakaria, I've heard a lot about Zakaria, and he's a decent option. Don't get me wrong, he's a decent option. But I think Declan Rice, for me, is the one that we should be looking at. I think, obviously, Ndidi from Leicester, as Rich mentioned, is also a very, very good shout. And I'm not sure how much Leicester are going to want for him. I'm sure that Leicester are going to try and charge the pants off us again, because they did that with Harry Maguire with great effect. So I'm sure if we went in for Ndidi, it would cost us a pretty penny. But you know what? He's a very, very decent player and someone who deserves his move. He deserves a move. And I know there'll be some Leicester fans who might not like that comment, because they might be saying that Leicester are a big club. But when was the last time Leicester finished in the top four? I'm pretty sure it was when they won the league. About 5 or 6 years ago now. So can we really say that Leicester have made that step up to a top 6 club yet? Potentially top 6, to be fair, but not really one of those top 4 clubs, in my opinion. But obviously, if Leicester fans are watching, they'll have a difference of opinion. But I just feel like, Ndidi deserves that move. He deserves that move to a top club. And if we had the money, I'd 100% be getting that deal done right now. I really, really would. Rich says, shame they didn't try and get Donnarumma for PSG. What a signing that would have been. What a signing that would have been. I tell you what, I know obviously he saved the penalties, and as an England fan, it's still a bit raw right now. But at the end of the day, you've got to take your cap off and say what a goalkeeper he is. At such a young age, he's going to go right to the very top, if he's not already at the top, to be fair to him. But he'll win every trophy in the book. There's no doubt about that in my mind, really. But obviously PSG have got him, and I think that for quite a while. I don't see him leaving PSG, especially with the team they're coming in, Hakimi coming in. They're looking strong. They really are looking strong, and I think this is their big push for a Champions League. Whether they're going to be able to do it under Pochettino, got Spurs for a Champions League final, but I don't see it. I really don't see Pochettino winning the Champions League, but I'm sure if Sean, who was here from the Worldwide Red show, he'd have very much a difference of opinion to that. Matthew says, surely we're getting rid of one of them. Do we need 4 goalkeepers? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that one, to be honest with you. I feel like having 4 goalkeepers, it doesn't take away too much from the overall squad. But at the same time, at least one of the goalkeepers will pretty much not play a single minute. So they may as well be a coach. They may as well be on the coaching staff. And probably for Lee Grant, it'll be him. Because with Heaton, De Gea and Dean Henderson, Lee Grant's nearly 40 years old. I don't think he's getting a kick, to be honest. So, yeah, he may as well be a coach. Connor says he rates Rice, not his price with the English tax. Well, I mean, this is the problem. Obviously, especially after how well he played at the Euros, English players are always going to have a high price tag. So, in some ways he deserves it. But at the same time, I think there are some people who do overhype English talent. So, we'll wait and see. But I think West Ham wanted about £80 million for him. I don't see that. I don't see it being. I don't think it should be that high. But at the same time, I think he's still a decent player. There's no doubt about it. Owen says Rodgers would charge the bollocks off us for Ndidi. Have you spoke to Brendan Rodgers? Have you spoke to him? But to be fair, joking aside, I think he's right. Great question from Tom. We'll leave that up there for a minute. That's a great question. But yeah, obviously this transfer window right now is going well. It's going well. You can't deny it. But this should just be the beginning. I mean, I've heard rumblings potentially of Kieran Trippier, getting him over the line, potentially bringing him in as a backup to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And if that happens, again, it'll be a very, very good deal. The one thing I would say about that is whether Kieran Trippier really wants to be a backup. And I know, some people say that, he'll have a good effect on Wan-Bissaka. He'll probably start performing really well. And, but at the same time, I just feel like Kieran Trippier right now, he's kind of in the prime of his career. What is he, about late 20s right now? He's in the prime of his career. He wants to be playing week in, week out. Would he want to come in and be an understudy for Wan-Bissaka? It's a difficult one. It is a difficult one for me. Maybe he wouldn't be. Maybe he would come straight in. But to be honest with you, that's probably out of all the deals that we're being linked to, I think that's the least likely out of all of them. Just because even though Kieran Trippier's got Man United family, whatever, his family support Man United, and sometimes that can sway you, but we've seen in the past that's not enough just to get you to a club as having Man United supporting family. The same, I just feel like Kieran Trippier wouldn't want to be an understudy, especially after the Euros he had. I just don't think Kieran Trippier is coming in to play second fiddle to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I just don't see it, but who knows? Who knows? Adam, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, Adam. Hope you're doing good yourself. Rich says, my friend's school has won the FA Cup the same amount of times as Leicester. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I think there were a few Leicester fans getting a bit big for their boot cup, and don't get me wrong, the FA Cup is a great achievement, and I'm not trying to, maybe it does come across as that, but I'm not trying to do that. Winning the FA Cup is a big achievement for them, and some people are saying that they're mixing with the big boys now. The evidence I'm looking at is the league table, and twice in a row Leicester have bottled it at the last hurdle, or the last few hurdles really, considering they were going into the last two seasons in the top four, with about 4 or 5 games to go, and they finish outside it. How can that happen every single year? If you're a big club, you get over the line in those situations. And I don't know whether it's just a Brendan Rodgers thing. Obviously, we had the Gerrard slip before. Is he just a bit of a serial bottler? Is he a bit of a bottler? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. It's up to you guys to decide. It's up to you guys. I think he is. To be honest with you, I think he is. Connor says he bought a home in Manchester for a reason. He wants to come back. He'll play as a backup and push Tellez for sure. Oh, that is interesting. I didn't actually know he bought a house in Manchester, so who knows with that one? Who knows? But that is an interesting one. Although, to be fair, he might have just done that because he likes coming back there. He's obviously close to family and stuff like that. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Sometimes that can mean a great deal. Other times it can be pretty pointless. So, who knows? Who knows? But, I mean, I wouldn't mind Trippier coming in because I do rate him as a fullback. I think defensively, he's very, very good. And going forward, he offers something with his crosses, with his delivery, and even with his free kick taking in terms of having shots on goal. I think he does offer something. But in the end of the day, I still believe that he won't want to come to Man United and be an understudy. But I might be proven wrong. Rich says, would Trippier take Aaron Wan-Bissaka's place? That's what I don't know. I don't know whether he would. I mean, I think that Ollie rates Aaron Wan-Bissaka very highly. Obviously Wan-Bissaka is one of those players like Maguire who basically played every minute of last season. So I feel that Ollie again will want to play Aaron Wan-Bissaka at every opportunity that he gets, and I don't see why he'd be looking at that position particularly to strengthen. But who knows? Only Ollie knows. Maybe he's had a bit of a change of heart. Maybe, he wants Kieran Trippier in. Maybe he's seen how Trippier played at the Euros and went, you know what? I want a bit of that. And who knows? I don't know. Connor also says, thoughts on United scouts being at the last US men's national team game? Well, obviously they're looking at some talent. Obviously they're scouting a little bit, and there's some decent talent in the USA. I've got to say, some decent young talent right now. And they are coming up. They're coming up. I've got to say, obviously from not qualifying for the 2018 World Cup because they couldn't get a draw against Trinidad and Tobago, till what we're seeing now is night and day. They've got some brilliant players in there. So who knows? Maybe they're scouting a bit of American talent, and you have to look all over the world. You never know what sort of gems are hiding in the four corners of the globe. So you've got to look everywhere. I think. Rich says our 98-99 season is better than Leicester's entire history. True, very, very true. You can't argue with that. You really can't argue with that. Owen says it's better than Arsenal's if you count European success. What European success did Leicester have? Oh no, you mean the 98-99 season. Sorry, I thought you comparing that Arsenal's to Leicester. Let's see. Connor says the talent rumoured to be looked at the game was Dyke, Hop, and Bello. It was their B team playing, but all three are threatening to be an A team. Well, who knows? I mean, obviously you'll know a lot more about the US men's national team than I do. I only really watch them when they're playing like World Cups and tournaments and stuff like that. So you'll definitely know a lot more about them than I do. But there is some great talent there. I'm not going to lie. There is some brilliant talent. So who knows? We might pick up one of them. Who knows? I don't think Man United have had many American players. I mean, I think, Tim Howard, obviously, he was American. Apart from that, I can't think of too many other American players that have played for Manchester United. If you guys can think of any other American players, let us know. I really can't think of any other American players. So let us know, apart from Tim Howard, let us know if any other American players have played for United. That's an interesting one. Owen, first, I mean, we were talking about people like this before the start of the stream, weren't we, ladies and gentlemen? People who actually say they know a lot more than they know. And, this sort of thing, do not believe a word of this. This is absolute rubbish. I can tell you for a fact, he doesn't have a single source. Not a single source. But anyway, obviously, if you want a Jadon Sancho update, it's basically the same as last week. It's still basically Man United obviously announced that we've done the deal. The medical and stuff, I think it's all going to be done by next week. I reckon early next week. Early next week, Sancho will be announced. I don't think it's going to be tonight, although I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I think early next week is my prediction. But again, I could be absolutely wrong. I could be totally wrong. But I think the Sancho deal's done. And obviously he's on holiday right now with Rashford, and hopefully they'll have a good time, recharge their batteries, and come back ready to show the world what they can do and prove people wrong. Because I'm sure right now there's a lot of doubters. And hopefully they use that as fuel. As long as they can use that as fuel and use that as motivation to play the way they can, that we'll have a great season. God. Well, actually, you know what? It's a good point. Thanks for reminding me. Obviously, the Derby County game is going to be happening tomorrow. I don't exactly know the exact kickoff. Probably would have been good to find that out. I believe it's 1 o'clock, to be fair. 1 o'clock kickoff, potentially. Kickoff. So I got that right without even searching it. But the squad came in. There wasn't very many recognised names in it. I think a lot of people are resting because of their participation in the Euros and the Copa America. Obviously, Fred, of course, played for Brazil. Cavani played for Uruguay. So there's not very many big hitters, but there is still a few big names. Mason Greenwood, we're going to get to see him in action. Mata, obviously. Telles. Tom Heaton as well. Potentially could see Tom Heaton first start for Manchester United since he left. It'd be good to see him back in action in a Manchester United shirt, but no new signings really. No new signings, which is kind of expected, apart from Tom Heaton, of course. And obviously, most people are going to be on holiday, so don't be expecting any of the big names in there. Obviously, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford. For some reason, Martial's not there, even though he didn't actually play in the tournament. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but none of the big hitters really are going to be involved in this Derby County game tomorrow, but it should be an interesting watch. But I wouldn't take much from it. Really, these sort of games are just to get energy in the legs. And I'm just happy we've got some games to play this pre-season, because we know how we started last season when we had no pre-season. Red Devil Studio, thanks for joining, my man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping by. Says, yo, Kieran, great to see you back. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. As I said, I'm trying to, get back to the old ways of, regular content. I think actually recently I've been living up to my name of Red Devil Weekly. So I need to get back to doing more than just weekly content. So hopefully more transfer news comes through and more videos will come through in the same time. But thank you very much for tuning in, G. Really appreciate it. Make sure you do check out his channel as well if you haven't already. Red Devil Studio. Brilliant stuff on there. Box says, could we see Mike Phelan get some minutes? Who knows, mate? I tell you what, that'd be brilliant entertainment. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd pay to watch that. I would pay to watch that. Dazza, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. He says, evening, can't stay long. Surprised I got on. Signal still cack here, but hope you're well. Hey, Daryl, happy birthday for yesterday, mate. Hope you're having a great birthday, as I said. And yeah, guys, in the chat, if you haven't already, make sure you wish Dazza a happy birthday if you haven't already. 19 years old. Time does fly, Daryl. Time does fly, as you said. But anyway, hope you're having a great birthday, and thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. So make sure you wish Dazza a happy birthday in the live chat if you haven't already. I don't need to click on that. I don't need to click on that because, that is not good. That's not good PR. Matthew says, Derby, who barely survived in the Championship last season, are looking sharp. Obviously, that's Owen. Owen, if you don't know, his favourite player is Wayne Rooney. And he'll die on that hill. And he says Rooney's got Derby looking sharp, but I think we'll edge past them 2-0. Yeah, I mean, again, obviously they ended up kind of just about getting promotion. Sorry, just about avoiding relegation. Promotion, they wish, I tell you. They just about avoided relegation. Basically through virtue of a points deduction, to be honest. In the end of the day, I feel like, he's got a big job to do. And we'll find out whether he can do it. Only time will tell. But realistically, it's a big job. It's a big, big job, I've got to say. Box says, have the Glazer family lifted the Red Dog Weekly embargo? Right. I'm not going to say this again. And it's not your fault, Box. It's other people spreading rumours, and I know who they are. I have no affiliation with the Glazer family. I never have. And who knows, I never will. I would say I'm not ruling it out, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. But I've got no ties with them, and that is that. That is that. We're not having this again, are we? But yeah, cheers for that, Box. Cheers for that. I can't believe this keeps coming up. I'm not doing a medical, but Jadon Sancho looks like his medical is very, very... I think the medical has been completed, actually. I think that's what was being reported. The only thing that's left is for Manchester United to announce it. So, yeah, that'll be exciting to see what happens. People are saying Dave and Stormzy and that sort of thing, but who knows? Who knows? Does say Kieran overtake you at some point? Who knows, mate? Who knows? Life is crazy at the moment. You just might well overtake me. Owen says, you know nothing about Derby, Matthew. This is why people think United fans are arrogant. Derby are a great side. We'll just leave that in the air, I think. Connor says, backroom at the game will be the two managers discussing loan deals. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, to be fair, unfortunately, most of Derby's decent players have already been, snatched up by Chelsea. I mean, they're pretty much Chelsea's anyway, but, most of Derby's good young players have already gone. That's why they're struggling. But at the same time, I'm hoping they have some more young players. And to be fair, Raphaël Morrison, that's what I was thinking. Raphaël picture with Rooney and Morrison there. I think it's a bit of a last-ditch attempt for him to kind of... It's a little bit late, to be honest. It's a little bit late. But, Raphaël Morrison, I want to see him do well. I have to say. Owen says, phone's ringing, Kieran. It's a man called Malcolm. Oh, I've just sworn there. I'm sorry for swearing if there's any kids watching. Just really gets to me, that rumour. Really gets to me. Dazza says, gotta head out now, lads. Take care. Thanks for joining, Daz. Appreciate it, mate. If it is, obviously, it was only for a brief minute, but it was great all the same. As we always say on Red Dead Weekly, you can never be late. But so cheers for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Apparently, we need one more like. I don't know what the total is for one more like, but apparently we need one more like for something to happen. But yeah, please do leave a like if you haven't already, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, of course. And if you're watching as a video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please do let me know your thoughts. So yeah, obviously we've been going for about half an hour, and the Jimmy Neutron thing. Connor says his only association is with Jimmy Neutron, his long lost twin. Hey, I tell you what, if I was making as much money as Jimmy Neutron, I wouldn't be streaming. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'd be on a beach in Marbella, sipping a lovely bit of drink. I don't know what, but I'd be home and dry. Owen says he probably doesn't have to Google when we play games, unlike Kieran. Right, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, we're going to have to... I'm not sure if this sort of thing's going to keep going, if there's going to be a running theme, but I'm not surprised it's coming from Owen. I'm really not surprised it's coming from Owen. I'll tell you what you should do. I think if anyone's got any sort of problems with their maths homework, make sure you go to Owen, because he's really good at maths. He really is good. I mean, he proved that in the quiz. He's fantastic at simple addition. He's brilliant at that. He's absolutely top quality at that. Connor says, let me try and phrase this like from England. You're making better. Good work. I tell you what, you've hit the nail on the head there, Connor. You're basically an Englishman. You're basically a roadman right there. You really, really are. But I mean, we've talked about most of the transfers. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, this video is just about giving a Varane update. In the end of the day, what you've seen on social media is what I'm reporting to you, to be honest. And my opinion, as I said at the start, is that I'd love to see Raphaël Varane in a Man United shirt. I think him and Maguire would make a unreal partnership, especially if Maguire can play like he did in the Euros. Not the Maguire that we saw when he kind of first came in, or maybe the start of last season, but if Maguire can play like he did at the Euros, and Varane can play like he has for Real Madrid, we could have a very, very solid centre-back partnership, with, as well, a very, very solid back four in general. Luke Shaw playing as well as he is, Gilberto Carlos, and then also Aaron Wan-Bissaka, potentially even Kieran Trippier. Who knows what's going to happen with that. Lawrence, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says, please sub. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if he's saying please sub to his channel or my channel. I don't know. But if he has got a channel, make sure you check out Lawrence's channel. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. If he's not saying that, I don't know if he is or not. But if he's just saying subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. Appreciate it. But either way, thanks for joining, Lawrence. Really do appreciate it. There's only one answer, G. And I think probably you know the answer in your head. You know the answer. Everyone knows the answer subconsciously. Oh, God, I can't say it. It's too hot today. It's too hot. Subconsciously, everyone knows the answer. Box says, sources state Owen is putting in a request to have a rematch with Kieran, but on a quiz regarding Cambridge United instead. That'd be even worse. I tell you what. That'd be the shortest quiz in history. Adam says, Kieran, why not have a long stream? I don't really stream for really long, and that's just because, I kind of... Well, I don't know really. I just never have. It's just something that, I like to keep it kind of short. I just keep it to an hour, and then I go, you know what? I've had enough. We've had a good time. Sometimes you want to leave the audience wanting more, and that's what I do. That's what I do. But at the end of the day, it's not because I'm lazy. It's not that. It's not that. It's just I don't want to. Connor says, Shaw in the Euro form, literally the best in the world. Exactly. If we can get Luke Shaw in that sort of form, if you can get Harry Maguire in that sort of form, Varane, of course, who I don't think Varane had the best Euros. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he had the best Euros. France obviously got knocked out in the round of 16, so no French player really had the best Euros, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I don't think Varane really covered himself in glory. But at the same time, we've seen what he can do for Real Madrid. His record doesn't lie, let's be honest. He's basically won every trophy that you can win playing for Real Madrid. So, his record doesn't lie. And he's played with some of the best centre-backs in world football. And Sergio Ramos, one of the best centre-backs in football history. So, in the end of the day, he is a great fit. And I really, really look forward to him coming to Old Trafford. If it happens, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Adam says, why don't you have a quiz about Pakistan? I mean, I don't know enough about Pakistan. Obviously, Pakistan beat England in the cricket. I'm not sure if you guys were watching. They humbled England, to be fair. It's an absolute humbling. I'm not sure if you guys watched that, if any of you are cricket fans. But, maybe that's what Owen was talking about there, the arrogant English. Who saw arrogant Man United fans? A little bit of arrogance in the English camp. But again, this is not a cricket channel. This is a Man United channel. Don't know how that went down that tangent. Connor says, it doesn't help France that the shambles is a shamble with too much ego in the team. I mean, in some ways, going into the tournament, I think they were everyone's favourite. So you can't really begrudge them too much for being confident. But I think there were some pundits saying, I think, was it Mourinho who said after they went out that they were arrogant? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Matthew says, England humbled Pakistan in the ODIs. Kieran want to mention that. I don't know. I can't recall when that actually happened. Won 3 games in a row against a very depleted Pakistan team. But, they won 3 games on home soil. But we'll see what happens. Listen, I'm an England fan. I'm an England fan. I'm a suffering England fan. That's what I call myself. A suffering England cricket fan. And, what I saw was an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace. I'm of course joking. I'm joking. Listen, if Root's watching, of course he's not watching. He's just lost to the Lancashire Lightning. He's not watching this. If all the boys are watching, good luck in Australia. You're gonna need it. And hope you do well. Box says, anyway, back to football. He says, if we have 2 players per position, who would your 4 centre backs be, and who would your 6 mids be? Wow, that is a good question. Well, you guys can get involved in the live chat as well on that. I think it's a good question. 2 players per position. 4 centre-backs. Probably Maguire, Is this based on the squad right now, or is it based on potential transfers that might come in? Because if it's based on the squad right now, I'm going to go with Maguire, I'm going to go with Lindelof, I'm going to go with Bailly, I'm going to go with Tuanzebe. In the centre backs, I think in the midfield, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to go with Pogba, Fernandes, Fred. Oh no, okay, potential. He says potential. So yeah, you guys can answer this in the live chat. In terms of potential squad, who would be your 2 players in each position? Yeah, so in terms of centre backs, then it'd be Maguire, Varane, Tuanzebe, and Bailly. Although Bailly can't stay fit, but it's a difficult choice between Bailly and Lindelof right now. But I'm going to say Bailly. I'm going to say Varane, Maguire, Bailly, and Tuanzebe. In the midfield, I'm going to say Pogba, Bruno. I'm going to say Rice. I'm going to say McTominay. I'm going to say Fred. And then I'm going to say, it's difficult. Do I really see us getting 2 centre mids in? I don't see it. But then I'm going to say Fred and McTominay as squad players. I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba. That's 4. Ndidi, that's 5. And then Camavinga is 6. So that's what I'm going to go with. Those are my players. So let me know your thoughts on that. Adam says Varane, Maguire, and Dream. Oh no. Maguire. Oh, sorry, I can't read that, Adam. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, John's joining us. Thanks for joining, John. Appreciate it. Didn't you once say Dan James is better than Messi in CR7? No. Right, we're going to clear this up again for people that didn't see it. Thanks for joining, John, anyway. I didn't say that. What I did say was that the cross he put in against Wolves, if Messi or Ronaldo did that, remember, weak foot, first time cross, if Messi or Ronaldo did that, they'd be, saying, what a ball in by the GOAT. But because it was Dan James, no one really talked about it. That's all I said. And I'm pretty sure I said that ages ago. But, obviously, John, it's been he's held on to that comment for a while. So I'm glad we can get it off our chest. But I didn't say that Dan James is better than Messi in CR7. Potentially in the future, who knows? He's got a long career, he says. But yeah, I didn't say that. Ray says, hasn't Tuanzebe agreed to a season-long loan? I'm not sure if he has. I'm not sure if he has. Maybe, again, I don't know my facts, but I don't know if Tuanzebe has actually gone anywhere. Let me know where Tuanzebe. Where's Tuanzebe? Where would he have? Would he gone back to Aston Villa? Oh no, maybe he did. Yeah, maybe you guys are right. You guys are probably right. So where did he go? Oh, this is terrible. This is really terrible. I look like I've just started supporting Man United this week. Oh God, I genuinely didn't. That passed me by. That passed me by. So where did he go then? Does anyone know where he's gone? Adam says, no way Romano tweeted Kieran Cole from Cambridge. Here we go. The fee is a bag of chips from Chippy. Yeah, well, mate, send that over to me and I'll send over some sort of contract. John says, Owen Coyle, didn't you once say Maguire is better than Beckenbauer, Bobby Moore, Baresi and Maldini because he's worth more than them? You're the most deluded fan of all time. Say what you really feel, John. That's all I'm going to say. Owen says, am I wrong? I wonder how many of them would have won consecutive... Okay. Yeah, John, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. You might just be the most deluded fan of all time. I was about to stick up for him. And then he says that. Apparently he's still in Manchester, so there you go. But I'm going to wrap it up at 10 o'clock, so a couple minutes left. So any last thoughts or questions you guys want to put into the live chat, let me know your thoughts. On anything I've said today as well. And also, if you're watching as a video, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And like the video if you haven't already. Thanks for 10 likes. Really do appreciate all of your support. But if you've got any other comments, any questions, please let me know in the live chat. And obviously, after the Derby game, we might have a bit of a reaction to that. We might not. Who knows? But in the end of the day, it's just a game to get some minutes in the legs. It doesn't really mean anything. These sort of games really don't mean anything. So don't worry if we lose. I know there's a lot of Arsenal fans who are getting quite worried about losing their games, but in the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's fun to banter them, but in the end of the day, all that matters is the league season. Tuanzebe was requested a loan. The club agree. Nothing. Oh, okay. So he requested a loan. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I mean, you know what? I think it's probably best for him. It is probably best for him, you know. It is probably best for Tuanzebe, because I think he's a good enough player. He's a good enough player to get first team football. So yeah, good for him. That's what I'll say. Good for him. John says, yeah, Harry Maguire has also suffered 4 relegations and hasn't won a single top flight trophy. Beckenbauer, Moore, and Baresi all won the World Cup, and Maldini won 5 Champions League titles. You know what? I can't argue too much. with that. I really can't. But anyway, you know what? I'm going to leave it there, guys. We've hit 10 o'clock. Thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully, this is the start of a bit more consistent content on Red Devil Weekly. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat comment section down below as usual. Let me know your thoughts on what you'd want to see on this channel as well on this break before we head into the season, which I think is only around 4 or 5 weeks away now, so not long to wait until the season starts. Hopefully you have Sancho, Varane in as well, and potentially a CDM. Fingers crossed. But anyway, until the next time, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and I'll see you